Hi there. So the Twin Flame journey is a journey about healing the self. There's this grand misconception with people that people don't really grasp the point of this journey until they've awakened to a certain extent. A lot of people are initially, we think this is about getting a relationship with their other half. And I mean, it is and it isn't, but it's not in an outcome focused sense. Like, that's what we're driving towards as such. Let me explain what I mean. It's not about connecting with this particular physical person that you've identified as twin. It's about connecting with your Yeshua or your Mary, your Yahweh or your Shekinah, whatever way you want to describe it. And I don't mean that from a religious perspective. I don't see myself as particularly religious. Highly spiritual, yes. But I don't kind of ascribe to any particular religion. To me, whatever path leads to the light is what I follow, whatever feels true, not one particular one or the other. However, yeah, when I say that, I don't mean in a sort of religious way that we think of, Mary and Jesus or that sort of archetype. What I mean is more your highest version of self, or your highest version of your counterpart, your divine complement that match to your soul origin state. Now, some people might look at this as getting a relationship with your other half or that, and it's complicated to explain because it is that and it's not. It's not in the little boxy 3D way. And the way to get there as well is not what we think either. People are looking at it kind of inside out and going, why is this guy not talking to me? Why is he treating me like this? Why is he doing this? I say that because it tends to be more of the divine feminine or the female gender that tend to be projecting at what he's doing or not doing, generally speaking. But basically everything that you perceive him to be or perceive him to be doing is a reflection of what you're doing to yourself, or the way you're being to yourself. It's connected to your behaviour and your treatment of self and stuff. It's not all about what this other person outside of you is doing to you. It's a reflection of you and your relationship to yourself, what you're doing to yourself or not doing to yourself, or the way that you're treating yourself or not treating yourself. So it's, and you've never not been with this person, but the reason that you don't perceive yourself to be in physical partnership with this person is because you're not in your original soul origin state. So you either separate out and you see him with that version of you, or you see that you perceive not to be with that partner because of where you're at. So you're essentially with your reflection, or your twin, your divine mirror of where you're at. And then what you're actually looking at this person that you desire is who you truly are. So the match, your divine match, the complement to who you really are in your full, embodied, integrated version of self. But if your partner seems to be someone else to that, to you, that's because they are your twin where you're at. So basically what you want to be doing is healing yourself. So connect with this person where you're at, and that's sometimes I think why twins are married, or they're like in a partnership with someone else, and usually the feminine twin is like throwing daggers at this other woman that they see their twin with. But this other woman is you. It's either a fragmented aspect of you, depending on if you're looking at him, like if the version of him that you're looking at is your divine complement, or if he's just an aspect of your divine complement. But regardless, this other woman is either a fragment of you, or they are your full embodied self. And the way that you're treating her is the way that you, it sounds harsh to say, but the way that you feel about your authentic self. Or the way that you've been made to feel, the way that you, from where you're at, the way you're treating your authentic self. And basically, I think I've spoken about this before, but if the men that you're looking at, or the women, but I'll just use it in this way to explain. So as a woman, if the men that you're looking at are fragments of your twin, any girlfriend, partner, wife, whatever, of any of those people are aspects of you. And as you reclaim these aspects, you're gonna pull that woman away from them, but like in the way that it's like she never existed. So it's like suddenly they won't have a partner, and you'll be like, where the fuck did she go? But where she went, you'll see when you look in the mirror. When you get that aspect back to you, take yourself to the mirror and see if you can see her. I bet you can. And it's actually it can be quite an emotional experience as well, when you realise that woman that you've been hating on so much, that woman that you've been like criticising, that you've been whatever to, is actually you. It's actually how you were treating yourself. It's quite a humbling experience to be able to recognise that, receive that, and be able to then turn it around and like integrate that aspect of self and love that aspect of self. But yeah, so basically, I spoke about healing the cord in a recent video, and that's essentially what you're doing. So from where you're connected, or where you start off, the amount that you need to heal the cord is the distance between this guy that you're with and the one that you want to be with. So that's like the level of trauma, or the level of entanglement, or the level of separation that you have from your divine self. And that's what it is more than anything. It's about connecting back with your divine self, and fully embodying that woman or that man before it's anything to do with being with the other. Being with the other is a byproduct of getting to that state with yourself and being like embodying, integrating that divine, authentic, soul origin self. It's a beautiful journey of self-love and of healing before it's got anything to do with being with a partner in like a 3D relationship sense. And I also feel like this is what a lot of people miss. I've spoken about divorce and stuff before as well, but a lot of people, I feel like they miss that. They think, oh, if I divorce him, then shit's gonna get better because he's the problem or she's the problem. Your partner is not your problem. You are your problem. So whatever you're fighting with him over, like, a divorce is not gonna solve anything, because you're just going to attract that same person back in someone else until you change self. And actually, I remember going through this when I was really young. Like, as a baby, on like a soul level, I knew the twin flame relationship, because that's part of my purpose, my soul purpose. And I remember watching my parents like head towards divorce and get divorced and stuff, and feeling like a lot of pent up anxiety and frustration, and that and not being able to communicate to them that it was them that were the problem. Like they needed, rather than attacking each other, like they had to heal their soul relationship, their relationship to self. Yeah, so I mean, you might have to pull away from a partner or something in order to heal yourself, but just know that it's not them that's the problem, it's you. And the only way that you can, I remember being with an ex-partner of mine and trying so hard to get him to change and get him to be who he wanted to be for himself and stuff, and I wasn't fully conscious of it at the time, but he wasn't the problem, it was me. It was the well, I mean, he had his own problems, but from my perception, it wasn't him that was the problem. It was my perception of my masculine self that I was having massive issues with, and trying to change him was not going to do it. What I had to do is go inward and change self. And then the more that I've done that, the more that I've attracted higher and higher versions of essentially that same soul. It's the same person. Like, I was never with the wrong person in the first place, and neither was he. But we've been with our match at the time. Yeah, so you want to heal yourself back, like from this wounded version to the healed version, and then once you hit that balance point, you can attune your frequency to pull to each other, and then just continue to evolve with this soul as you evolve your soul, if that makes sense. I'll speak about that in another video, but yeah, I just wanted to really clarify that it's not about this 3D relationship as an outcome, this getting this person to be with you, this ownership of this person. It's about your ownership of your full divinity. Like, they're calling you back to your divinity as you are to them. So yeah, I hope that made sense, and I just had to get that out tonight. You know, sometimes when you're like, I've just got to do a video now. So yeah, so luckily I caught the time before it was too dark, and yeah, I'll be back with another video soon. Hope you're having a good night.